Yeah. Yeah. Okay. 30,000 in the pocket, no change. Okay. I might pass the ball, but this is no game. Okay. All my girls, they love and hate me the same. Okay. So when I die, I ain't gonna be from old age. Somebody gonna want revenge. Somebody might want it now. Right pocket got euros. Left pocket got pounds. Somebody gonna want revenge. Somebody might want it now. Throw the ball with the right hand, catch with the left, touchdown. Step back, let me get some room. Congrats every time I'm through. Same packet, nobody knew, so I never get confused. Hotel get a bird's eye view. Hotel get a waiting room. Read a magazine while you wait for me, baby. I'll be done so soon. Phone gotta be off, each store got locks. I got some trusted shoes. Okay. 10K on the countertop, don't look so shocked. It's nothing new. Okay. Death comes in threes. Wins come in twos. Cash comes in ones. Throw it up, celebrate some news. Ay. I do a good job, pull up and pop out and pull out. Hat on and hood on, pedal to metal. When I put my foot on, I got to put on. I got a bad one, they wanna keep me. Oh, that's a good one. Pockets are dense, I think my bread is hard as a crouton. Receipts in my pocket don't come with a coupon. Yeah. Okay, 30,000 in the pocket, no change. Okay, I might pass the ball, but this is no game. Okay, all my girls, they love and hate me the same. Okay, so when
from the home of the Bills since 1973, there's a look at the newly named New Era Field just outside of Buffalo, New York. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the New Orleans Saints and the Buffalo Bills. Getting toward the halfway point of the NFL season, Week 7 is underway on EA Sports. This is taken at the 3. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line.
Let's go! At their own 25-yard line.
Set, 180. Let's go, D.
Now Ellington, and not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play. Early down stuff to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this day, has got to be priority one.
So trouble already here on their opening drive. This is 3rd and 9. Mayfield looks to throw. Well, he will not be able to hang on through the contact. It's incomplete. The coverage strong, and now it's 4th down. So the defense able to get off the field here on 3rd down.
It's one of the goals of the game. They've got to be effective on passing downs. It's one of the few things defenses chart. How did we do on 3rd down? That's a nice start for them in this one.
Maybe a yard up to the 29.
What an advantage having an elite guy in the middle of the defensive line, because not only does he take up the space and let the linebackers run free, but he can also make plays himself, as we just saw there.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. Now they try the right side here. And, he's going to be brought down by the face mask. Here come the flags. This is going to get him a 1st down. Officials so cognizant of that call nowadays, but that one looked pretty easy.
Yeah, you're right. They took out of their hands having to wonder whether it's a 5-yard or a 15-yard, inadvertent or not. Now, it's a lot easier. You see it, you call it.
So the face mask, quite a blessing there as they'll start out of harm's way with a 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down. That's his longest run of the first quarter. And, Charles, we talked before the game about them needing to establish the run game. They'll be looking for more of that.
And they got to the perimeter. So that tells me that that's part of the game plan of what they want to get done today. So they'll have some complimentary runs where he'll run it to the inside. But it appears that when they want the big yardage, they think they can get to the outside and make it happen.
A 2nd down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
Certainly looked like maybe his 3rd or his 4th read on his progression. Just trying to find his outlet man that time. Ends up leading him just a bit too much.
Could be 4-down territory even if they don't get this, but they need just a few inches here on 3rd. Looking to throw. Gibson. And he will find his man on the end route. Complete. They get 9 out of that one, and as a result, the drive continues. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Back to throw. Gibson. And a throw right sideline is complete. A good pickup there of 20 yards.
When this offense can get their tight ends involved, they can move the football. Here, a nice route, able to look it in, and picks up the 1st down.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. This defense against the run, by the way, they're not top 5, but they are top 10.
So what's your philosophy here? Do you try and run the ball against a team that's pretty good against the run? What if you're a pretty good running team? If so, you might want to go ahead and run it anyway because that's your strength.
4 yards on the pickup there as they get it back to a more manageable 3rd and 7.
Makes it 3rd and 7.
Let's go now. Go team. Spell. 6 yards. Go. 94 is the mark. 94 is the mark. Watch the run. 94 is the mark. 94 is the mark. You must go.
Looking to throw. Gibson. To the goal line, but it's incomplete.
Nice play there to force the incompletion. And to me, one thing's for sure. When you're the underdogs and you're playing on the road, you absolutely have to get takeaways. You've got to get the ball from them.
Yeah, win that turnover battle, going to be key. They didn't get one there, but you get the feeling they keep making plays like that, they might just get a few.
Yeah, once you get one, defensive teams think they come in bunches.
So the opening drive does yield points, maybe not the 7 they wanted, but they'll take the 3.
Accumulating 1st downs does not go up on the scoreboard, but it does go into the DNA of a team that's trying to establish itself to start a game. That has to feel pretty good for them. They'll take the 3.
Yeah, they had 3 first downs and 3 points. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This is taken at the 3. He's going to be stopped here with a penalty marker on the field. I'm not sure what this is about. So that flag will cost him 15.
And it doesn't matter anymore how you get the face mask. Any part of it, that's going to be 15 yards.
And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
They just gave up a sack there, and if I'm not mistaken, they gave up 4 last week, didn't they?
Yes. And just looking really porous, aren't they?
They really are, and I'm wondering if they're going to have to start thinking about keeping the tight end in, maybe a back, someone to help assist, because right now, the quarterback's been getting hit a lot in the last couple of games.
A good pickup there, 13 yards as they get closer for 3rd down. Well executed there on 2nd down, so do you go back to the air on 3rd?
Well, that's a possibility, but now you've opened up things to where you showed that you would run the ball in long-distance situation. You might come back again because I doubt they believe you'll do it a 2nd time.
And they'll get him down about 3 yards short of the 1st. Good defense holds him to only a yard, and it'll be 4th down.
Well, we hear so often how tackling has become almost a lost art in the NFL game.
And a fake here. Direct snap to the up man. And he's not even going to come close to picking up the first. They stop him right at the line of scrimmage. A little trickeration there, but it doesn't fool him. And it'll be a turnover on downs. A first update now out of Jacksonville. And the Jags, they're out to an early lead there. And we'll keep an eye on that one as our game goes along here.
Hey, let's get some penetration here. Let's get some penetration.
And to give this time to the tailback. He's got daylight. 20. And all the way home for a Bills touchdown. A great play there. His second touchdown on the season. And the Bills will add on to their lead. And on that long run, maybe the defense caught napping a little bit.
The concentration level may not have been there. I agree with you on that one because those types of plays, when they result like that, they're almost like big bolts of lightning, aren't they? Whoosh, and off he goes.
Extra point splits the uprights, and the lead grows to 10-0. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line.
At their own 26-yard line.
The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. They'll look to get something started. They need to, down 10-0 early as they've got it 1st and 10. Here's Ellington. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
Check Mike 57. Hey, Mike 7. Get up. Check 24. Check 24.
On 2nd and 9, Mayfield. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long way out there, but it'll be 3rd down.
Even the greats in this game, and he certainly qualifies as one of them, they're going to have trouble if they continue to throw into double coverage.
He better be careful. Throwing into too much double coverage might have a couple of them picked off. After an incomplete pass on 2nd down, that'll leave him trying to convert. On 3rd, pressure comes, and down goes Baker Mayfield. And Oliver able to get in there and drop him behind the line. And no matter what the situation, the O-line just hates that because they feel like they didn't protect little brother back there, right?
Man, that's just so difficult for them because just think about every single play. When you decide to throw the football, you're dealing with some of the best athletes on the planet. You talk about guys, if they weren't playing football, they'd be starring in the NBA at power forward. It's a really difficult task.
And the punt team on now as this one's sent away. And this will be down just on the other side of midfield.
At their own 46-yard line.
Buffalo offense ready to go for their next drive. They're looking sharp, out early to a 10-zip lead and looking for more as they've got it 1st and 10. A throw left side to start the drive is complete. There he goes left side. And all the way home for a Bills touchdown. A big play there. His 4th touchdown on the year. And the Bills will add on to their lead. As a former DB, you might not like to see that, but from a wide receiver's perspective, those are the plays they dream of.
Correct on both counts, all right? Because once he took off, I mean, let's face it, that should have been done in Big Sky country. Aren't any speed limits out there? And off he went. Glad I wasn't the one trying to chase him.
Extra point right down the middle. And that makes our score 17-0. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This is taken at the 3. And he's going to be taken down on what will be the final play of this first quarter. 17-0 our score after 1. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. And we don't want to call this desperation time, especially in the second quarter, but you're down.
You don't want to.
No, but let me finish.
Okay, my bad.
You're down 3 scores already. You've done nothing offensively, nothing on the scoreboard. That's not a good combination.
I think you just called it desperation time. I think you did. But let's face it, you mentioned this to me in a break earlier in the game. The energy level hasn't been there right from the start. We've noticed that. They've got to find a way to get on their toes and start punching instead of retreating, to use a boxing analogy.
12 yards there, good for a Saints first down.
Well, partner, for a few years there, we thought this read option play was going to take over the whole NFL. It seemed like everyone was using it, but it has been scaled back considerably in the last few seasons, mainly because people are worried about their quarterbacks getting hit. But when you call it at the right time and you use it properly,
that's caught inside the 20. That one good for 37 yards. With that grab, he now sits at 200 for his career, and maybe more importantly, a first down. Oh, a ball batted in the air, and now it's intercepted. Picked off inside the 5. He's got a convoy, and he might be gone. He's at the 30, the 20. And he will score. Touchdown, Buffalo.
Partner, what we just saw, that's a great example of a team that was really amped up. They've been playing so well, yet they didn't get overexcited and have a bust on defense and gave up a big play. Instead, they created their own big play with a pick 6. This one may be over.
Yeah, it's just the first half, but that lead has swelled to the point where you're wondering if it is over already. Point after, right down the middle. And a rout is on here in this first half. So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And there is a flag as he's brought down right at the 25-yard line. But who's this going to be against? So they will accept the penalty and move forward. After the penalty, a fresh set of downs. It's 1st and 10.
Point it right.
This is Hines. He'll take this from the 40 up to the 45 for a gain of 5.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down. A very solid gain on that play.
Alert. Go. Regular. Slam.
From the 45 on second down, Mayfield going right side here, and that's complete. And he's got a first down as the tackle made at the Bills' 39. Catch number 100 for his career right there, and it's good enough to keep the chains moving. Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete.
Well, nearly another interception there. That would have been 2 drives in a row with a pick. He's got to start taking care of the ball way better than what we're seeing.
Interestingly, that throw was probably worse than the one he threw the interception on last drive, but fell incomplete. So line of scrimmage still the 39 on 2nd and 10.
Check. Alert. Real.
Mayfield to throw it. Green brings it in. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets him up for third down. The offense on third down tonight, 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. They're looking at third in the nose of the football. On the ground, Ellington. And he's able to pick up the first before he's taken down at the 27. Got what he needed for the first down with a gain of 2. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Working out of the gun, Mayfield. It's completed to Caldwell. And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. Now this is picked up by the Bills. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. And, partner, I know hindsight's always 20/20, but, man, just in general, those laterals, they can be so risky, and we see the risk that can be involved right there.
And you just have to know, and we've seen it because we've been in a lot of practices, it's not something that's practiced very often. You know, in that situation, you don't see guys really working on it. Maybe like we're bringing the rugby guys in to help us with tackling, maybe we ask them to help us with the laterals as well and make that a better play.
And an alley to run. And he'll take this one up to about the 13. A good run there on first down, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 2.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
To throw on second down. Gibson is going to let this one go deep. Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. Past the 20. And all the way home for a Bills touchdown. A big play there. 87 yards as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. And correct me if I'm wrong, that was just a simple fly route, wasn't it?
No, there's nothing to correct at all. You've got it down pat. And I just remember as a player, when I'd be in practice sessions and I'd hear 9 from the receivers, that meant fly route, go. Uh-oh, look out. That was the 9, and he just kept going all the way into the end zone for the touchdown.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And he'll probably wish he'd reconsidered here. It will cost him 10 yards as he's down at the 15.
Well, conventional football 101, tells us if you don't get it back to the 20-yard line on a kickoff return, that's a disappointment. But some of these teams, special teams coaches, with approval by the head coach, they give them full authority to go ahead and bring it out and try to be aggressive, almost what we call the green light, red light theory. Green light means go, red light means stop. Looks like he had green on that play.
They throw right away, and that's complete out on the right side. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. Second and right at a yard.
At the 24-yard line.
That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. This is Ellington, and he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage.
We all have habits. We can be somewhat predictable, and you know me pretty well on 2nd down and short. What I like to say?
Play action.
Yeah, without a doubt. I thought that was a great spot to call it. Instead, didn't go their way, did it?
Now, defense sold out for the run. Worked out well. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. And he's able to pick up the first before he's taken down at the 27. Give him 3 yards and a fresh set of downs.
First down, New Orleans.
Set, 20, Kings. Watch the screen. Watch the screen. Hurry. Out. Bang. I got it.
A first down throw from Mayfield. Able to slither by. Hauled in here, Caldwell. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
7 yards there and a first down.
When an offense reads blitz, doesn't matter where it's coming from, tight ends know that they become a big part of the passing game because they should be an easy outlet when all those extra bodies are trying to get to the quarterback. A hot route, so to speak.
57.
First down, Mayfield. He'll rifle this one deep right side. And that is incomplete. Showed off the arm strength there, but to no avail. Second down.
This defense is not going to make it easy for you. They're a physical group, and we just saw it there on that play. He came in, made the contact, just as he's trying to haul it in.
Here now is 2nd and 10, again from the 41. And again, it's Mayfield. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down.
Feels like they're getting caught in between here because they had incompletions on 1st and 2nd down. Now you got to worry a little bit about the clock because you prefer not to give them another shot here in the first half. But if you don't pick up the first down, guess what? You're likely going to have to.
They'll find Hines out of the backfield. He'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. 12 yards there, good for a Saints first down. And at his size, he's a smaller back. You can get him to football. He can kind of get lost, make someone miss. It's good for him.
Yeah, it's great for him. I like what you said there. Sometimes he gets lost in the traffic a little bit, but get him out in the open field into some space. That plays to his strengths the best and keeps him out of it where all the big boys are, you know, make someone miss in the open field.
Now a throw to the end zone on first down, but it winds up incomplete. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Mayfield with it once more. And he comes back with one complete. And he's got a first down as the tackle made at the Bills' 30. The Saints going to call the first of their timeouts as they get it right at the 32nd mark of this first half. Mayfield now looking to throw on first down. And that is incomplete. Took a shot there on first down, but he couldn't reel it in. Well, the incompletion, yes, but maybe here not the worst thing in the world?
No, not on 1st and 10. It actually gives them a chance to regroup, relax just a little bit. They huddle up, talk it over. Then they get a chance to continue their drive.
And taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down. Now we'll get a quick timeout called by New Orleans, number 2. As the clock will stop with 18 seconds to go in the first half.
Hey, alert 33. He don't want it. Hey, Alpha. Check 3. Mike's 57. 57's Mike.
From the red zone now, Mayfield. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete. He was looking for his running back, Nyheim Hines. And that'll bring up 2nd down.
It's now 2nd and 10.
So they'll come up after the incompletion for 2nd down.
57. Hey, Haywood. Let's go.
Here's Mayfield. And he'll take it into the end zone for the Saints touchdown. A 15-yard touchdown grab as they are now on the board here in the first half.
I'm not sure that they have illusions right now of, okay, we're going to score 8 times in a row and we're going to be terrific. But to get one, that was huge for them. That has to feel much better right now.
And you do have, we're still in the first half. You do have the entire second half. It's something about that goose egg that just looked bad on that board, but now they've broken it.
Yeah, broken through. Can they maintain the pace? We'll see as we go along.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This is taken at the 3. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line.
Here we go. Here we go.
The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. Time for a final kneel down or a safe run, and then they can head to the locker room with a lead.
Yeah, or they can even run a screen. You know, something they feel is somewhat safe that might actually pop and turn into a big play. That's what you usually run in this situation.
Or go 4 verticals because why not?
Because you're feeling it, right? You're just feeling it.
He's going to hit his man out of the backfield, complete. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. So we've come to halftime after a very one-sided beginning to this one. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. Bills with the lead, and they'll get the football first as the second half is underway. This is taken at his 4. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line.
At their own 30-yard line.
Buffalo offense ready to go for their next drive. They built a good first-half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half.
And he's got daylight. It's a foot race. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Buffalo touchdown. A big play there, with his second touchdown of the game and 5th on the year, as his guys continue to pour it on. Extra point splits the uprights, and that will extend this big lead. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And the decision to bring it out is going to cost him about 7 yards all told, as he's taken down back shy of the 20. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second half?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete. Boy, the numbers throwing the football just not trending in the right direction. Last week, he was under 50%. He's under 50% again here.
And we haven't gotten an announcement, but it appears to me that he might be a little dinged up and is just trying to play through. You know, he's one of those tough guys that wants to answer the bell each and every play for his team. That might be throwing off his accuracy.
The screen does get him 9, but it also brings up a 4th down. Here comes the Saints punter now, as he'll come on to kick this one away. Fair catch called. It's taken in right at the 20-yard line. So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Bills will take over the football with a 1st and 10. The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. And following that long touchdown pass, a one-play drive last time, see if the defense, you know they're ready. They don't want that to happen again.
And you would have thought they would have been ready the last time. That's what you work on all the time. Make sure that no one gets behind you. That's the cardinal sin of defense, not giving up the long pass. They did. Let's see how they adjust.
2nd and 9 now from the 21. And he'll give it here to his running back. Only gets 3 yards there on the heels of the 1-yard pickup. Sets up 3rd and 6.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
on third down. Gibson throwing right, and that's complete. And he gets it to the 34. Good enough for the first. He's been big. 2 touchdowns earlier. Now he's got a first down here. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Now a handoff here to his running back. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8. 2nd and 2.
Good, strong run against the 3-4 set. And that 3-4... you've got to have you guys up front eat up a lot of blocks. The guy playing over the center, the nose, he usually has to take on double teams. But when you're able to successfully move him, you're often able to get some yardage, and that's when linebackers have to clean up and make tackles.
And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44.
But we always talk about good down and distance, allowing offenses to expand their playbook. Well, 2nd and 2, that means your playbook's wide open. You can run just about anything. A lot of times, the play caller, he just looks down at his sheet, sees the short yardage runs, and goes to one of those.
A big run there, 29 yards and a first.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. So in Saints territory now, here's 1st and 10 as they've got it to the 28-yard line. And only a yard this time as he's taken down right around the 26.
And this is why aggressive defensive coordinators love to blitz. It wreaks havoc because they end up taking their attention to the blitzers, freed up the D lineman to make the play.
Watch tight end. Watch tight end. Tight end's right. Tight end's right.
And to give this time to the tailback. And he'll be tackled at the 23 after a gain of 3.
Let's give a lot of credit to the offensive line. They've been able to move the ball really well on the ground the entire game. And while that wasn't a huge one, that's okay. They'll take them in short, steady bursts.
So it's 3rd and 6, and this will be the 8th play of the drive.
I'm coming.
Back to throw. Gibson. And he can't quite pick it. No interception so far. That probably should have been their first, but at least it's 4th down.
It's now 4th down.
So out comes a field goal team now for the 2nd time here today. He hit his first, this one from 40 yards out. And his kick here is good. And they're well on their way now as the lead grows even larger. So in the end, they had the ball for 10 plays, but the drive gets them 3, not 6.
Is it okay if I give credit to both sides on this one?
Absolutely.
All right, let's start defensively. They hung in there. 10-play drive, but they stiffened when they got close to the goal line, made them kick a field goal. And for the offense, 10-play drive. They might be a little disappointed they got a field goal, but they moved the ball down the field with dispatch and came away with points.
And he will take this one all the way back inside the 35-yard line.
We all know that teams never want to use the word panic, but if they expect to win this game, it has to start right here, right now. That return just set them up for points, and it needs to be a touchdown, not a field goal.
And that'll hurt the average a bit as this time they're able to get him behind the line. Yikes, a 4-yard loss really sets them back now for 2nd down. So the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14. To throw, Mayfield. Flush to his right. A hit as he throws there, incomplete.
Maybe a little frustration starting to creep in. The offensive line hasn't done a great job of protecting him in this game, and there he was, hit again as he threw it.
Yeah, another time on his backside, probably starting to get a little frustrated.
Got to keep his composure. Can't let the defense know that they're getting to him.
Meanwhile, on 3rd down, they take a shot at the end zone, but it's incomplete.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually, that becomes man on man. And you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
Here comes the Saints punter now as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. And problems spreading to the punt team now. This one goes all the way into the end zone on the fly, so that'll come back to the 20.
On the
Buffalo offense ready to go for their next drive. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? They score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly, because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, in fact, you can take the spirit away from another team, that their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
Still third quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. 14 yards, and the Bills will get a new set of downs.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense, because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. And he'll give it here to his running back. And another mistake here defensively as a flag is down on the tackle, and that's going to tack on 15 more. So the yellow flag came out, and that leads to a new set of downs for this offense. 1st and 10. Looking to throw. Gibson throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete.
We always talk about receivers. If the ball hits your hand, you're supposed to haul it in, but it is hard to adjust to a pass thrown a little bit behind you.
That one was all the momentum going forward. Couldn't contort his body back to grab it. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he's going to take this across the 50 and into Saints territory. It'll be a pickup of 5, and that leaves him with 5 more. 3rd and 5 now.
Brings up 3rd and 5.
Watch the screen. Watch the try.
Back to throw. Gibson. Got a man over the middle, and it's complete. And this is going to be another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Saints' 25-yard line.
1st and 10 at the 25-yard line.
This quarterback now 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10. And they're not going to get to the line to run another play. So we will switch ends as the 3rd quarter has come to a close. And that'll do it for the end of the 2nd quarter. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports.
Here we go, D. All day. Defense, all day.
And they give this time to the tailback. They'll get him to the ground at the 20 following a pickup of 4.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
And he'll give it here to his running back. And they corral him just a couple yards shy of the end zone. 18 yards that time to push him up 1st and goal.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he pushes forward but comes up short of the goal line as he'll get a yard down to about the 1. A minimal gain there on the 8th play of the drive. 2nd and goal from the 1. They'll try to run this one in. And he takes it in across the chalk for a Bills touchdown. A great effort there. His 2nd touchdown of the game, his 3rd on the year, as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. Extra point right down the middle, and the lead will swell by 1 more. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This will be taken in at the 1. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line.
1st and 10 at their own 30-yard line.
The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
20. Watch the curl. Watch the curls.
Now a handoff here to his running back. Looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. He got maybe a half yard at most, but officially they'll be left with a 3rd and 2. The Saints on 3rd down. They've converted 3 times in 8 chances. This time they face a 3rd and 2. And they'll let their fullback try and push the pile. And he will have first down yardage as he's brought down at the 41. 2 yards and able to get the first down in the process.
And the Saints first down.
Set, 180. Yeah, that's what I do. Hurry. That's me.
They'll run on first down. Hines. And he'll be taken down across the 50 at the 45 in enemy territory. He'll get 15 and a Saints first down.
Yeah, they really needed to get something going, didn't they? They had punted on the last 2 possessions. The running game starting to come to the front for them, providing a nice pickup there to keep this drive going.
So 1st and 10 now in Buffalo territory at the 45-yard line. Looks like he's going to get a couple here on this first down carry, and that'll make it 2nd and 8. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down. Throwing on 2nd and 8. Mayfield. Now Mayfield lost the football.
On plays like this, when the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back, because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, the teammate is able to come up with the ball.
Here comes the Saints punter now, as he's on for the 5th time here today.
Get ready. At their own 20-yard line.
The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup, let him get some time?
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row that were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. These guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, they're not as worried and concerned about getting them out of the game. And that's always puzzled me a little bit.
Don't be mad. It's more coming. It's more coming.
So it's Bills football here as we get you reset. They've got a 3rd down now as they look for one more first down to help salt this one away.
A loss of a yard. It's 4th down.
The Bills send the punter out. Always a good sign when your first punt comes in the 4th quarter. He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. Taken in at the 22. A very nice job on the run back there. He'll get 23 yards all told. And the Saints will take over with a first down and 10. They are on to the fourth quarter in Jacksonville. And the Titans have just scored, so they add on to their lead. A win would be just their second of the year if they could hold on. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in the game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
And they'll take a knee as the clock ticks down toward 50 seconds to go.
It's a loss of a yard.
So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now 3rd and long. And they will take a knee here.
Mayfield on the keeper. A loss of a yard. Brings up 4th down. Today's final score, Bills.
A big offensive explosion helped leading them to victory. And the defensive guys, they're just saying, hey, put those points up every week. We'll just keep winning.
They will gratefully accept them, won't they? It makes their job that much easier when they're scoring that many points. Allows them to play with a totally different style and a different flow.
So for Buffalo, they fall a game under 500 now at 3 up and 4 down. And they'll hit the road next week to take on the Denver Broncos. Meanwhile, for New Orleans, the losses are piling up as they drop to 1-5 now. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Alongside Charles Davis, we thank our entire crew. I'm Brandon Gaudin. This is the NFL on EA Sports.